My name is Muhammad Nur Hafiz.
And Abdul Azim, you can begin.
My name is Nufur Syamil Salah.
And my name is Muhammad Adi Usdi.
The interview is expected to last around 30 minutes. We have prepared a few questions: HR roles, employee management, and recruitment strategies. We hope to gain an insight from your experience. Please let us know if you have any concerns before we begin.
Okay, I just want to ask, do you want us to record this or you are okay? Because some interviews that we've done in the past, they actually ask to record and then or you take a photo at the end.
I already record.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right, so my name is Rizal from Internal Communications of Capital A BERHAD, previously known as AirAsia Group BERHAD. So I mostly focus on internal matters with regard to communications across the group, in which, for example, like student interviews, I have facilitated that we have today, and also internalizing messages, which when we reach out to public, we also internalize it because we have over 20,000 employees called AirAsia All Stars, and the staff are people from office, people who work at the tarmac, people who work at the airport. So it's very important for us to make the messages easily understandable by people, because sometimes when we release to the public, might be long and a bit formal. So what I do is I make sure the content is easily understandable, and also with that we get the buy-in of one messaging from the company. I'll now pass it over to Reka from the HR department.
All right, sure. Thank you so much, Rizal. So hi, everyone. My name is Reka. My full name is Nozu Reka. You can just call me Reka. Feel free to stop me or pause me if you don't understand or if you feel like you want to ask question. All right. Okay. So anyway, thank you so much, everyone. And maybe I can just. Do you want me to just straight away jump into the question, or you still want to ask question to me? I think I have the copy of your questions already.
My teammate will ask the question.
All right, sure, no problem. But before that, let me just quickly introduce myself in terms of my role as well. So I'm actually from the recruitment team from our DARTS, which is our shared service AirAsia. And also, I'm currently reporting to the head of recruitment, which is my boss, Inderjit. All right. Okay. So yeah, over to you for the question. You will ask me question, or you want me to just straight away answer your question?
We will ask the question.
All right, Ken.
For starters, could you please share an overview of your role at AirAsia, your key responsibilities, and the HR functions that you oversee?
All right, sure. So in terms of my roles and responsibility and key function, so maybe I can give you a brief idea about the HR function as well. So HR is quite big. You can imagine HR like a tree. It's like there's a lot of branches. So my role is one of the function under HR, which is recruitment. Because HR, we do have like payroll, I would say, in terms of compensation and benefit, which is part of it is also payroll. We have HR operation function. We have also training function, training and development. We have HR business partner function, so on and so forth. So mine is recruitment. So what does recruitment do is actually more on doing hiring, which is I'm actually dealing a lot with external candidates, external parties, which is candidates. So who are the candidates? Which is, for example, if every one of you have graduated, you are considered as a fresh grad, and whenever you apply for a role with AirAsia, I will be the first point of contact to actually see your resume filter you out and also subsequently forward your details to the hiring manager, which is here our I would say each and every department we call them, if they're hiring we call them hiring manager. All right, so these are the recruitment function. Meanwhile, what is my responsibility? I would say as a recruiter under recruitment function, I'm actually doing end-to-end recruitment, as in like I'm starting from doing the role briefing with the hiring manager. So, for example, if let's say we do have opening in finance, so I need to sit down with the hiring manager, understand what are the requirements, and then that followed by with the interview session, and also I screen the candidate, collect document for salary proposal, send out offer, and then also just need to make sure until the onboarding process is done and successful. All right. Other than that, in terms of, I would say, my key roles, I'm not just doing hiring for Malaysia, but also I'm doing hiring regionally as well, which is I'm supporting hiring for Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, India, China, Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. So these are the countries that I'm supporting in terms of doing the hiring. In terms of what kind of hiring that I'm doing, because I'm not the only recruiter here, we have quite a number of recruiters. My focus is actually more on the corporate hiring, as in like finance, procurement, marketing, social media, sustainability, legal, and also in terms of customer service as well. All right. I hope that I answer your question. All right, cool. Thank you so much for your question, Darshini. So anyway, in terms of the challenges, I think I can divide into a few sections. So because my role, I'm not actually dealing with employee internally, because HR usually people know that, oh, we are taking care of internal employee, correct? But for me, because my function is more to recruitment, which I have mentioned earlier, I'm actually dealing with candidates, right? External parties. So my challenges should be, I would divide into three, which is candidate, the parties that I'm dealing a lot with, which is also another one is client, I would say stakeholders. Our internal hiring managers, I would say them, they are our stakeholders, and also the people that are dealing internally with. And also another part should be within the team as well. So these are the challenges.
For the next question, I would like to ask regarding the recruitment and selection. Can you walk us through the recruitment and selection process in AirAsia? Like how it differ from entry level position and also the management roles?
Sorry, can you repeat again? How do I define between entry level to senior roles, is it?
Yeah, to the management roles.
For the advertisement role, how do I define between entry level and the senior level role? Correct?
Yes, to the management roles of the AirAsia.
Okay. So usually it will be based on the seniority of the role. As in like whenever I receive a request for hiring, I will receive in terms of the job grade level as well. This is something that shared internally between hiring manager and to me, recruiter. So when I receive the request, usually they will state it like whether the role is executive level or senior exec level manager, sorry, assistant manager or manager level and above. So at that point of time, usually I will understand already whether this role is a junior level or it's a senior level. For executive, let's start with executive. It could be for a junior level, but for some hiring manager, whenever I have the role briefing with them, I will ask them, do you need, are you open for a fresh graduate hiring, or do you need someone who is actually at least 1 to 3 years of working experience? Because some hiring manager, even though they stated they need executive, but they would prefer someone with working experience already. But some of the hiring manager, they said, I'm okay with fresh graduate as long as I can get as soon as possible. So that's how I define whether the role is entry level or if it's a senior level role.
Okay, for the next question, we would like to know what the specific skill and competencies are the most critical for AirAsia employees.
Skills and competencies that most critical. It actually differs by roles and also I would say department or responsibility. Each and every role they have a different set of requirements or competencies. So for example, if you're talking about finance or accounting, let's talk about accounting. Usually accounting they need someone with full set account or accounts payable or accounts receivable. So let's say if students or candidate who is coming from engineering background would like to apply for accounting, definitely it's a no. So usually it goes back based on the job function, the job requirement. We look at that. If let's say we're talking about sustainability it's about sustainable about the business and all that. So I can't get someone with, let's say, finance or accounting background to jump to sustainability. So it doesn't work that way. But at the end of the day, there's a one common thing what we are looking for, regardless of whatever roles it is. The one common thing is more on the communication, number one. Number two is about the culture fit wise, because why communication is important. I mean, if let's say you regardless of how good you are in terms of your paper, your resume, your grade, education grade, your straight A student, but your communication is out, at the end of the day, we still can't get you in as well. But number two is also about the one that I mentioned, culture fit. Culture fit meaning some people they can work in a fast-paced company, some are not. So during the interview session, we can gauge on this part or this area already. So let's say we can see that you might be struggling to fit into our culture, then we actually usually will sort of like consider other candidate or interview more candidate. So yeah.
Just to add on, Reka, if you don't mind, from personal experience, when I had my first interview 6 years ago in my first role in Asia, doing 4 different roles, the culture fit is very important because the things that we do in the organization is not your typical company, I would say GLC or corporate, because even though we work like a multinational corporation, we are very I would say sometimes like a startup in which, like Reka mentioned, you have to understand how to work in a fast-paced manner. But in my aspect, personally, when I was working with social media, was the first interview was like she mentioned the qualification and the experiences, and the second one was with the head of branding at the time, who's now also the CEO of the branding company, where it was more personality because they want to see your ideas, but not in a conventional way, because it's very easy to follow the book or to say what kind of experience we had in the past. But instead, during my interview, they asked, he asked me what's my favorite movie, what's my favorite music I listen to, because the influence that you listen to or watch casually will influence you to get a job. Because let's say if you watch, let's say, for example, legal movies and serious movies, maybe the first impression is that you are a very serious person and you cannot jive and have communication outside work, because something that is big in capital A AirAsia is that we build relationships outside work. So it's not like when we have meetings, it's not always in the meeting room. It's sometimes like in a cafe, at the culture. So they always ask these kind of questions to see whether you fit in a way where you might think, why are you asking all these personal questions? But it's actually related back to your field and role that you are doing within it. So it's not conventional, but everything happens for a reason why they ask certain things.
All right. Thank you, Riza, for the point. All right, sure. Next question.
All right, for the next question, can you explain how AirAsia handles employee training and development, and what programs or initiatives are in place to ensure continuous learning for employees?
Oh, that's a good question. All right, cool. Even though I'm not the expert on this area because my function are more towards the recruitment, but something that have been shared internally as well is definitely about we do have an academy here, which we call as Outclass. Previously known as AirAsia Academy. So this is, I would say, some of the, I would say, initiatives that have been done internally. Like we will create I would say courses that are actually quite relevant or something that maybe employee would like to explore. So for example, what kind of courses they have? It's more like, it varies actually. They have like marketing or data, building dashboard, or it could be UX, UI design, software engineer, anything that you feel like to learn. I mean, like the internal employee, maybe they feel like they want to learn or they want to upskill themselves. That is something that it has been promoted internally within Asia employee. And the best part is actually these outclass programs are also open to external, I would say, audience. So let's say if you are students, you feel like you want to upskill yourself, this is something that open to you as well. In terms of development program and career development, it's actually varies between entities as well. So, for example, what if I remember with Teleport, they do have like a development program for 6 months. Like whenever you join as a fresh grad, which is for executive level, for the first 6 months, they will monitor your performance. Like you will have a one-on-one on a weekly basis or on at least a monthly basis. They will see your progress. What are the areas that you need to improve? What are the areas that you are very excellent? And then after 6 months, if let's say you are very good in what you are doing, they will start progressing you to the next level, which is they will sort of like explore you to do a different area of work. Or maybe they will give you another project, something different from what you are currently doing, to see if this is something that you can progress to the next stage. Or in a way, I can say in a simple word, it's like preparing you to become a senior exec level. So they give you different project, a bit more challenging, to see if you can progress to senior exec level. So these are the development programs that have been in place already internally here within AirAsia. All right,
All
next.
right, thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions so far?
For the next question, I want to ask,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of engagement strategies does AirAsia to keep their employees motivated or committed to the company?
Okay. What kind of engagement that we have done? There's a lot actually. If you follow, I would say not just our TikTok live at AirAsia, but also live at Teleport or live at Santan, you can see there's a lot of activities, engagement that have been done internally. So here actually they have like a monthly basis kind of program event. In fact, we already sort of celebrated our annual party last week. It was something, I would say, an engagement that has been done internally. That's how we sort of like build the connection, strengthen our relationship between the employees, and at least that is the time that we can network between the employee, different department. So these are the kind of engagement. Other than that, we have like a celebration for the the Eve that we have, like Raya Eve, Christmas. We have for Chinese New Year, Deepavali, you name it. Pretty much everything we have on a monthly basis as well. So these are the kind of I would say the culture that we are practice here and the engagement that we are doing at the moment.
Thank you, Ms. Rika.
Most welcome. Next question. Any other questions so far? No further question?
Yes, yes. Wait.
All right.
Okay, for the next question is, how does AirAsia handle conflict resolution? Are there specific procedures or protocols in place to address conflicts?
All right. Okay. Can you elaborate a bit more? What do you mean by conflict of resolution?
Conflict in human resource.
Right. Okay. It might be a bit too generic, but maybe if you want me to deep dive into recruitment, I would say usually it would be more between in terms of candidates. Maybe I can go back to I think it was Darshini's question as well. It's like challenges you asked me earlier. And I did mention about I can break it down into three parties, which is candidates, stakeholders, or within the team. So these challenges actually also can be related to the conflict, which based on case to case basis. Sorry. So anyway, referring to your question, okay, what kind of conflict? That is something I want to ask. But if you want me to refer to conflict between the candidates, or maybe there was something, I would say some challenges. How does I resolve the situation, or how do we resolve the situation? Okay, if let's say we are talking about a candidate who actually, I would say, declined the offer, or actually sort of like, you know, cloning about the documents or submitting to us as false document. I have encountered that kind of situation before. So how do we resolve? Usually we will need to have a backup plan as well. Whenever candidate did not really, sort of like being honest about the document they have submitted, usually, or the previous one that I have encountered, it was actually his education certificate, as in like degree. So he lied about his degree certificate, something that he cloned about it. So I'm sort of like, managed to identify the issue, and then also share this and forward this to the management, tell them that, hey, we have encountered this kind of situation. Apparently, the candidate was not honest about the education level and including the pay slip details as well. I don't think we can, onboard a candidate who is actually not honest about him, because we don't want candidate who is actually not honest, do not have any honesty. So because it's actually important for us, it leads to integrity as well. So in this kind of situation, like I mentioned, we have to have a backup plan. So yeah.
All right, thank you.
Sure, no problem. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Can. But anyway, like I mentioned, I'm not really deal with the employees. I'm actually more on the recruitment side. So, in terms of the strategies, I would say it's more on the employer branding side. So we need to always have, to get in touch and need to check out within our team, at least in terms of, checking on how are they doing, and also that's the point of having the weekly meeting as well, in terms of checking on what are the challenges that they have been facing so far for that particular week, or on that particular month. Maybe we need to have like a monthly meeting as well, just to check not just on the work progress, but on themselves as well, not towards to the personal matters, but more on like how's work so far. things like that. A very generic question: how's work so far? Any challenges? Any support needed? So these are the things that I would say is important as well. And also at the same time, it could be something that very helpful. It's a simple question, but it's important. So yeah. No worries. Any other questions so far?
That's all from our teams.
I see. Oh, that's it from your side.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate this. And also, if let's say in the future, if you would like to have any other question or anything else that you would like to ask me, just feel free to let me know or Rizal know as well. All right.
Okay. In conclusion, thank you so much for your time and valuable insight today, Mr. Rizal and Ms. Nuzureka. We have learned a lot about AirAsia HR practice, from employee engagement to the use of technology. We truly appreciate your openness and willingness to share your knowledge with us. This experience will undoubtedly help us in our HR studies and future careers.
All
We will
right.
be submitting a report on this interview as part of our group assignment, and we will ensure to include your insights. If it's okay with you, we love to stay in touch and maybe connect in LinkedIn. Thank you again, and we hope to stay connected.
All right. Most welcome.
Thank you,
Hope to
everyone.
see the invitation from you from LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Ms. Rika and Mr. Rizal.
Have a good weekend.